Hi guys, I'm back. So I'm doing something a little more out of my element. I spoke with Dollface, and you guys know he does the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood reviews, and he said he's not going to be doing the Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews. So I said, why not do them? So we're going to try it out. I was initially not going to review them because the first episode was not interesting enough for me. But the second episode, hopefully it's better. But this is it. So the first episode, we start off with Nene and Greg in Las Vegas, so Nene can host the Cirque du Soleil's Zumanity. Of course, Nene gets out of the car, shutting it down with her blue Birkin. You already know, because she's a very rich bitch. So while she's getting ready in her full drag queen hair and makeup, of course she doesn't fail to let you guys know that she's here to get a check, like she does in every scene. Then we're back in the A with Candy, where she talks about her boring life. Todd's daughter's coming to live with the Tuckers, and Candy emptying out clothes out of the spare bedroom that Todd's daughter is going to be staying in. I'm not sure what the hell there's clothes in there, so what the hell? But Candy's talking about expanding their family, and they've been trying to do that for the last year. They went on to talk about how boring Todd is and how cheap as fuck he is. So basically, Todd's daughter's moving down to Atlanta to live with them, and she doesn't know how to drive because she's from New York, and a lot of people in New York take public transportation. And Candy asks, "Are you going to give her your old Range Rover?" And Todd almost passed out. He was... I don't know what you mean. Candy, why would I give her my car? Why would I give her my Range Rover? She needs something practical like a Honda or a Toyota. You're broke as fuck. Cut the shit. He's mad cheap and he doesn't want to give his daughter a new car. Okay, so Candy lets him know that, the kids at Riley's school, they drive Range Rovers and all that. Like, the fuck? Todd wants Candy to downgrade the way that she has Riley living. Basically, Riley has her own a little house inside their house. And Todd's broke ass is not going to be able to basically keep up. In fact, he can't keep his daughter's lifestyle as lavish as Candy can keep her daughter. Candy wants everyone to be treated equally. Which is understandable because, who doesn't want to be treated equal when you're living with family? They end the convo with Candy telling Todd, basically, you're shooting blanks, and we've been trying to do this for a year now. Boop. So then we find our way to Augusta, Georgia, where Phaedra and her two sons are staying, and of course, her mother is there, like always. Her mother is always around. I don't know how Apollo and her marriage even lasted this long, because the mom is always in every scene. Like, she don't have her own house? The fuck? But wait, can we talk about Phaedra's horrible ass clip-on bun? That shit is not okay. Then they explain why Phaedra took the kids away from the home because Apollo's going to be sentenced. She claims that she didn't want her kids subject to the press and the media. But from the looks of the house that they showed, there wasn't anyone, not even someone walking the dog. It was non-existent. They then move on to Apollo at his and Phaedra's home, and can I just say he is looking scruffy as fuck? He gotta go to court today, and baby, you need to get that whole mug situation together. And those thin ass eyebrows that are bushy as fuck, I don't know how you have both, but Apollo then explains the charges that he's confessed to, which are wire fraud, bank fraud, and mail fraud. So, altogether, he's a fraud. He then basically explains that the only reason he got caught is because someone snitched on him. These hoes ain't loyal. All of a sudden, we get introduced to Apollo's half-brother on his mama's side. And I'm not understanding because no one cares. Next, the fuck? Apollo then explains to his half-brother that Phaedra hasn't had his back the entire time, and she did not write a letter for him or testify in court on his behalf to state that he was a good father. So, sounds like she's a bad wife. So then we see Phaedra in her green screen confessional, and of course, she has some smart ass shit to say with her horrible ass, nude pink, candy yum yum, shiny lipstick. Phaedra then says, and I quote, "I don't have time to babysit a grown man, so when he tells me he's doing his job, I'm believing that's exactly what he's doing." Now that was shady as hell. We move on to our rented portion of the show where Cynthia shows up at Kenya's rented home unannounced. Kenya then lets us know in her green screen confessionals that she's been traveling the world for the last 3 months. With what money, we will never know. But she stated that she needed time off to clear her head from this whole Portia situation. So basically what she said is she needed to recover from that mollywop ass whooping that Portia had given her. But I do have to admit that Kenya in the confessional, her hair and makeup is everything. She is giving me pulled back realness and it's giving me life. But that purple outfit that she has on is foolish as fuck. I can't with those big ass ruffles. Now we see Candy going over to Portia's hair photo shoot for her summer promo, and she's wearing nothing but a bathing suit and a lot of hair, and a whole lot of ass and titties are hanging out. And of course, Candy's ratchet ass gonna ask Portia, has she let anybody suck on her new titties? Really, Candy? You can't be not nasty and ratchet for 5 minutes? I mean, get your life. Portia explains her whole fabulous mugshot and how she's not really worried about Kenya anymore because she is working. She doesn't know what Kenya's doing right now, but she's working. Now, we flash back to Kenya's house where Cynthia is telling Kenya how her life is so much greater now that she's not friends with Nene and she can get back to her old broke-ass life. Now we're back with Apollo's fraud ass, and he's on his way to court talking on the phone with Todd. And the whole conversation was just real ugh. And I'm tired of seeing Apollo. It's like it turned into the whole Apollo show and I'm done with him. They then announced that Apollo has been sentenced to 8 years in prison and Phaedra is nowhere to be found. But what would the Apollo show be without Apollo having dinner with his white mama and his half-brother? Of course the Apollo show. Next. Now we see Nene performing in her full drag queen outfit and hair and makeup in Zoomanity. In the middle of her performance, they cut right to her green screen confessional. And she looks horrible as fuck. She has on this cheetah and lace off the shoulder shirt, these humongous Queen Elizabeth earrings, these Mardi Gras beads, and I just can't take her life. Nene then explains to Greg after her performance at Zoomanity that she didn't really know what an orgy was at first, and from the looks of the conversation, neither did Greg. Apollo is of course back on the screen because what would that be without the Apollo show? And now he's meeting Todd at the candy factory, and I'm done talking about him because I'm tired of seeing him. Now we're back with Nene, and she's talking to some of the other performers of Zoomanity, basically relating to the fact that they were all strippers at one point. Moving on to Cynthia working at what looks to be a cramped up as fuck the Bailey agency. She's coaching some young light-skinned chick to be a model. Notice they were quotations because it was looking fraud as fuck. And of course, in walks Peter with lunch. Yay, happy couple! But of course, Papa Smurf had other things in mind. He was there to pump her for seed money for his new failing business. Then we see Candy and she goes to Savannah to visit Phaedra. Of course, she's there for no other reason but to snoop in Phaedra and Apollo's marriage. Phaedra then shows up at home 2 days after Apollo's sentencing, and Apollo is not holding back and he's pissed. Apollo lets us know that Phaedra is all about the money and every dollar they've made together, she's been keeping. And he's filing for a divorce. That was season 7, episode 1. Bye bye and bon voyage. Bye, YouTube.